Hello everyone, and I hope that you are doing well. Today we are going to look at reciprocal trigonometric ratios. Today is the last day. Remember that next class we will review, and after this you're going to also be reviewing. I need you to review today so that you can ask me questions tomorrow. So day 9, you need to read through this, but if you look, the reciprocal trig function of sine is cosecant. Now, how do we remember this? Reciprocal opposite, you flip it. So flip it. This is S, you're going to go to C. It's going to be the same idea here. The reciprocal of cosine goes to secant. And then cotangent, you better know, is the reciprocal of tangent theta. So the abbreviations for these is CSC, CES, and COT. Those are the abbreviations here. So, and that's said right there. And so we know that sine theta is y over r, we know cosine is x over r, we know tan is y over x. That if you flip those, cosecant, which is the reciprocal of sine, the reciprocal, you flip it, is r over y. Cosecant, r over x, and cotangent, x over y. So that's all it is. Nothing is different about this lesson from what we did in the beginning except they are reciprocals. And so in this next part, what we're going to do is sketch the triangle, just like we have been, find measure of angle theta, but we're going to find all 6 trig functions, the 3 regular trig functions and the 3 reciprocal trig functions. So we're going to draw 8, 6, remember our bow tie. We got to find our radius. So we're going to do 8 squared plus 6 squared equals r squared. 64 plus 36 equals r squared. 100 equals r squared. And so r equals 10. We square root both sides. And so now we know our radius is 10. We know x is 8, y is 6. And we're going to go over here. And how I like to do them is write the main ones that we're used to, and then right next to it are reciprocal, cosecant, cotangent, and write what these are. So cosine theta, 8 over 10. Sine theta, 6 over 10. Tan theta, y over x, 6 over 8. All these came from right up here, what x, y, and r are. And then you could simplify these if you wanted to. You don't have to. But what we have over here is reciprocal. All you're going to do is flip it. That is it. You're done. Measure of angle theta, let's figure that out. Remember that this is, you can take any of them since it's in the first quadrant. Cosine inverse theta of 8 over 10 equals, use your calculator for that. So this is 36.9 degrees, which equals 37 degrees. Now, first quadrant, we can keep it as 37 because that's the angle from the x-axis to the hypotenuse. Flip it over. I'm not going to do all of these out. I will make sure you have all the correct answers, but I will not do all of these out. The first one, we've got negative 2, 1.5, 1.5, negative 2. Do the quadratic, or do the Pythagorean theorem again. 1.5 squared plus 2 squared, or negative 2 if you want to put in parentheses, equals r squared. We give us 6.25 equals r squared, so the square root of 6.25. And we'll leave it as r, as square root of 6.25. And so we're going to get sine theta, cosine theta, tan theta, and then the reciprocal trig functions, remember opposite signs, cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta. That is set. And so we've got y 1.5 over square root of 6.25. Cosine theta, negative 2 over square root of 6.25. And tan theta, I'll bring it down here, y, 1.5 over negative 2 over x. Then again, we just flip these. Square root of 6.25 over 1.5, square root of 6.25 over negative 2, and cotangent negative 2 over 1.5. Now theta, remember, the calculator gives us our gamma, and this is theta. So let's try this. We got to use this positive one. So we'll use sine inverse of 1.5 over square root of 6.25. Sorry for my head being in the way there. And so we got 1.5 divided by square root 6.25. And again, that's going to be 37 degrees rounded. Now, measure of angle theta, though, is 180 minus 37, because that gave us our reference angle. And so that's going to give us 143. 143 degrees is all of that. So what I want you guys to do right now is work on numbers 3 and 4, and then when you hit pause on the video, work on 3 and 4, and then when you hit play again, the numbers 3 and 4 will be done. I hope that makes sense to what we've been doing. And so here are the answers to 3 and 4. You will notice that all the work is shown. You will also notice that sine and cosine here are negative. Tangent, negative 3 divided by negative 1, you need to change to 3, because that's your only positive angle since we're in quadrant 3. Reciprocal functions, how did we find it? You had to take tangent, because that was the only positive one. 72 degrees is your reference angle. Add it to 180, because we're going beyond the 180 mark. Should have there. There we go. 180 plus that. So we got 252. For number 4, again, Pythagorean theorem, you get square root of 20. Notice that you could have made that 2 square roots of 5, and you could have simplified even more. I don't need you to do that. You can leave a square root of 20, but know that you can simplify that to 2 square roots of 5. So sine and tangent are negative. Again, you can simplify this. You could simplify all of these if you wanted to with a 2 square roots of 5. Cosine is the positive trig function due to the fact that we're in the 4th quadrant. Your reciprocal trig functions, and your measure of angle theta. Reference angle 27, you subtract from 360 because that's your gamma right there. So this is the end of the lesson. Right now, until the end of class, you guys are to work on the review packet. The review packet, you should have about half of it done when you come into class, if not more. The review packet is a comprehensive guide to the test. When you have me on Friday, we will answer some questions, finish up day 8, the last word problem, answer any questions on the homework, and then have the rest of that class to finish the review packet. If you work hard, you should not have a lot of work to do outside of class. The test is next Tuesday. I repeat that, the test is next Tuesday. So you are to study for that, and then it's spring break. So be excited, you get another week off. Not that you need any more time off, but you get another week off. So thank you for listening. Thank you for filling in the notes. Now it's time to work on the review packet. And Mr. Balaji, you can ask some questions too. Not everything though. Let him get work done from his planning period. See you all Friday.